Hello everyone, it is Stephen and Andrea from Pin in the Atlas, and Andrea has done it again. We have found quite a remarkable sight way out in the hills.
So we are right out in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, and we are at a mining site and ranch. Now, this site was established back in the 1920s. A family moved in here to ranch, and on the site he decided to do a little bit of mining. He made a claim, and in 1930 they started mining mercury. Now, this ranch has been abandoned since 1960 and it is now part of the Forestry Commission, so anyone can come up here and take a look, but obviously you do have to respect all the artifacts and all the buildings. And on that note, let's explore.
This is all that remains of the original mill. It was all moved and torn down in 2012. So I believe this is what remains of the original hearth furnace. But we will continue up and see what else is waiting. There's a closer look right at the front. Blocked off now with this big grate, and that looks a little bit like an ore chute, metal. You can see in there are still some like bricks blocking that entrance.
It looks more like it's kind of like a furnace where there's a lot of ash.
Is still in there, yeah.
So that would be the mercury process, maybe.
I think so. Big metal tubing. See that big sprocket gear on that side. We'll walk over and get a closer look here. On the left, there's some of the remaining foundations of the mill. Get a closer look at this. Now that mechanism there, looks like it spins, so this would have turned. See there again, and over there. So this whole cylinder spun around when heated up. So it was dumped in here. It's plugged up now. And then started its journey into mercury. Up at the very top of the mine, this at one point was the adit. You see all this rock fall on the ground. Came from up above. So this is all quite open now.
You can see where the rocks are cracking, ready to come down. So very dangerous.
Yeah. Very sketchy in here. Plus this is all on the floor here. This is all really loose rock. So if you come down here too quickly, lose your footing. That fall might not be too bad, but over there, you're gonna go for quite a way. And you can see here also the stole. It's completely snapped in the middle. There's not much holding that up anymore.
They look like railway ties.
Yeah. And then all the wedges they put up in there. And you can see there's some more just up over on the top. We'll walk out to the other side, get a different perspective. But these are the places that make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Here's another look. We were just right down there. So we're up above. You can see some of the different holes that are just tunneled all the way through here. But like Andrew mentioned, you can see all the veins that are cracking. So eventually this will come down too. We've hiked up the mountain a little further, and as you can see, there's just shafts all over this mountainside. Too much for us to explore all of them. And we're getting the feeling a lot of them probably look like this as well. So you've got the remains of an ore chute there. And this is all fenced off because you can see the ground is very unstable. Let me show you this pit a little closer. Filled in for the most part. But we've got a lot more to explore down over that direction. You can see there's some buildings in the distance. And there you can see Tonto and his new friend. We're out with Dustin and Lori again. And continue around, you can see all the little roads. All the fenced off areas to different adits. At the very top there probably is a vertical shaft there. And then right below us, see that sign? That's where we were to begin with. Andrew's over there. We'll go meet up with her in a second. And you might be able to tell it's starting to snow again.
This is impressive, where they've mined right up. But the colour of the rocks are beautiful.
That's pretty neat. So this was a cinnabar mercury mine.
So mercury was discovered here in 1928 by the rancher who owned the land, and then he put a claim in and started mining mercury.
Nice. Go from ranching to mining, huh?
Yeah. And they stayed here right through, well, after he died, it went to his son, and then his son got hurt in a mining accident, and they sold up. And the place has been abandoned since 1960, and it now belongs to the Forestry Service.
Yeah, that's who's been putting up all these safety fences and things around.
Shall we explore down there?
I think we should.
Let's take a look.
About halfway back down, looking back at where we were, there's the huge opening to the mine that we explored a little bit. And just down below us in the center of the screen looks to be a little dwelling. Don't know if that's an opening to another little portal, if that's explosive storage or what, but we will definitely check that out in a minute. We walked over. There's Dustin in the background. It's like this water tank. See the piping.
There's a little hole
Oh,
the
is there?
camera won't be able to see in. I think
What?
they're bullet holes that people have been shooting, but there's a pair of old workman's boots in there, a couple of plastic bottles, a lot of mud, and some metal roofing. And that, I believe, oh, and some pipes, and almost like a suction, like a pump. You can just see the remains of it.
Right.
That's what I guess it is.
Okay. Yeah, you can see to the right of Andrew here this huge pipe that has been welded shut. And these little pipes continue down the hill. There's one up above that goes off that direction. And then this one here, it's got like a valve at the end. And that goes straight down. And there's some more pieces. That looks like another ore chute over there. We'll go explore some more. See the water tank up there that we were just at? And here, see the collapsed structure. Now we're trying to, there's a ladder there, so this was a vertical shaft. But you can see how much that's collapsed.
Check it out.
Can't tell how far it goes because the wood's laying in different sections, the ground's kind of covering a lot of it. And then right below my feet, there's some more cart tracks. And if we follow these up,
I thought this was a gunpowder storage, but it's an adit.
how far back does that go?
Quite a way. Dusting's daring us to go in.
Oh,
He's armed and dangerous, so he said we'll be fine.
oh, you can see a lot of the collapse there.
So we'll just take a sneak peek without going in too far. Although there are a lot of footprints. Let's just... Oh,
Nice shot.
That wasn't very good. Let's make sure there's no animals or anything in there. I don't know if you can see this. This is all cracking
All
and
crumbly.
caving in.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not that light is, the torch is very good. But I'm not going to go in too far.
Hang on, let me get my...
So I can stand up in here, so it's quite tall, the ceiling.
I can stand up right here.
Okay.
There's an ore chute right there.
And you've got pipes and rails. Let's just go up to the ore chute.
Another one up there, some more rail material. What's up in here? All plugged up.
So let's just check on the floor. Apart from a few rat droppings, there doesn't seem to be any other... Few human footprints, but no animal footprints.
Right.
But these are pipes, not rails.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a false floor just up here.
That one's real plugged up as well.
And then to the right, there's a tiny little adit. Now that
Looks
wood,
like a pass too, ore chute.
is that an ore chute?
Yeah, it's a metal gate, looks like.
Okay, well I'm not going to
No.
venture up there. And then further down here, you
There's
see,
the winds.
and you've got a false floor. So we're not going to go any further because we're not professionals. We'll leave that for the professionals. However, We'll just take a look. Looks like those pieces of wood have been caught alight. So I wonder whether or not they've tried to smoke bats.
Maybe.
And you've got that beam across the top holding the ceiling in, or the backbone, the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's the back. And that goes around the corner again. So we'll head back out, and I did notice that there was another
spur, another
Had it?
Nope.
What's it called?
Keep guessing. Come on, you know this.
A tunnel. So we've got another one there.
Yeah, the proper term would be a drift.
A drift. I knew that. That's just what I was about to say. And if you look up there, there's a little bat.
Oh, look at that.
Don't really want to disturb.
No,
Let's
so
just,
we won't...
well, you can see where the rail carts were, the ore carts. And I'll just show the bat. See it hanging?
Little one.
Tiny, isn't it? Adorable. So we won't disturb that anymore. But I will just walk down to this doorway. Oh, and the door is still on it. It says keep out power.
Okay, so we'll turn around and head back out. Gonna be very quiet past the bat.
Yeah, it's so cute. Oh, there's another one. Just here, look.
Oh, I see.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
So they're still sleeping,
This is their
hibernating.
home. Ah, daylight.
Daylight and dusting.
Back out in the fresh air. It has stopped snowing for the moment, so we're very happy. Came to check out the ore bin. See, it's graded off. There's still some material down here that's fallen through. Look at some of this metal. They've re-welded, repurposed. So I don't know if they cut what they cut up. So it's a little bit cylindrical. You can see where they've cut all the slag that's on the side here. And oh, check this out. There's a piece of drill steel. Right here. Well worn. That's really neat. Don't get to see that a lot. And I'll kind of tip over the edge here. You can also see how they've done some of this. You got ore cart rails. Here you go, there's a different look. Get a better idea of what I was talking about with the ore cart rail. Welded up. And you see those were on hinges. Maybe to expand it to get a little bit more ore if they had a lot. Not positive about that one, just a guess, obviously. But the one thing I just always really like is the engineering that went into all of this. Sometimes it's very simple, but ingenious. The way that things have been repurposed. There's the opening to the chute. And then just bits and pieces lying around down here. So that could have been more secondary part that was lying in front of here that's now laying out amiss. That at first I thought was like a skip car. There's two of them there. Don't know if those are the tracks, a homemade one, or if I'm completely off base. That was pretty neat looking. And then some more pieces of the chute here. You can see it had a bend, it curved. Came down this way, you can see some more ore cart tracks to that cement pad. We are down off the mountain now, and we're going to check out one of the first cabins.
Now, I would say that these were probably the miners' cabins, being closer to the mine, and the ranch would be behind us, which we'll explore later.
All right, let's take a look at this one.
And they're very sturdy with the concrete.
The cement, rocks. I like the roofing material as the siding. Oh, what is this thing?
That to me looks like a boiler.
It's got
of
a
some sort.
pretty good sized vent pipe back here. Is that a gas line down there? What is this? Genuine Detroit. Interesting.
I was going to pop in. Let me just check the floorboards. So these are pretty safe.
So here on the left, looks like that would be a kitchen area.
I would say kitchen sink.
They've got a big vent right there.
And the little pantry to the right of it. Now there is another room, but I'm not going to walk across the floor because all the floorboards are rotted and the lino is covering them up, so I don't really want to chance that.
I wouldn't, yeah.
And then you've got, I don't know what that is.
The little desk area.
Yeah. And I would imagine just to the right before we enter that room.
A little coat closet?
No, this has got a fly screen over it. So I would say maybe another little pantry area for food.
Very neat.
And then in here is the bedroom, I would imagine.
Got like a little cabinet here.
They've got all those wires, so it was definitely wired for electricity.
Yes, the old knob and tube wiring. Those insulators there.
And you've got, is that a light fixture?
Yes.
A bulb?
Yep. And there's canvas material still on the roof.
Now, I have a fun fact about canvas. Now, I'm not saying that this particular cabin was built like this, but in the old days, tent cities, the miners would build, obviously they would have their canvas tents, and when they had decided to make it more permanent residence, they would then build the wood over the top of the canvas and nail the canvas to the wood for extra insulation.
Oh, that's pretty good.
True story.
That explains a lot now.
I wouldn't imagine that being the case with this one, or maybe.
Could possibly have been. Maybe they put a few together. Who knows?
To go outside and see if we can poke in that other little room.
Yeah. So there's the kitchen of the cabin. Come around the back side to peer in this room. There's a mattress frame.
This is too small for a bedroom. I think, looking at it, there's no windows. You've got shelving, so maybe more storage.
Could be. Then the other thing that we've noticed is the charring on the wood. This was on fire at one point. It's very fragile. But it's still standing, so that is good news. So from the cabin here, we just explored it. Next door is a little stone building. Don't know if this is another cabin or...
It's got a date on the door.
There's a date?
1962. And it says no trespassing.
Oh, they've got a cement wall in the floor and wall in the back.
There's a pipe coming through here, a little window that's got a fly screen.
It's like a workbench on the...
I wonder if this was, I don't know, I was going to say cold storage, but they've got
several windows and
they've got a chimney.
Yeah, there's the chimney there. Unfortunately, that wall's collapsed. So's that window.
It's pretty neat though, and it had electricity.
This place had it all.
Well, this was built in the 1930s. And as far as this no trespassing sign goes, we're just mentioning it to the viewers that say, you're trespassing. We're not. This is actually a historic site, and you are allowed to be here. This is just an old sign dated way back then, so not for now.
Next cabin in line. Looks like a old refrigerator there. Really destroyed. It's a very humble little cabin.
Yeah, so definitely a kitchen. You got the kitchen sink still.
Well, that's neat.
Unfortunately, people have damaged the walls.
They got wide planks on the floors here. About 2 by 12s. Where's that 1 by 12?
And we can get into the other side, from the other side. That's quite a large door frame.
That is. And here, looking in from the back window, you can see the roof. It's been destroyed by weather, more than likely.
Now this was definitely the bedroom. You've got a wardrobe or closet in the corner because you can still see where the doors were fitted, or a cloth, and the poles where they used to hang their clothes.
Yeah, let me go over here and get a better angle on it. There we go. The floors have held up remarkably well. That's cool to see.
Looks like there's been a lot of water and mud going in there.
Yeah, our friend Dustin showed us this. We completely missed it. There is still a key hanging on the nail. How cool is that? Hiking up to the last cabin on this side. The roof's completely gone in this one.
Now this is a funny little cabin because it obviously had a stove.
Yep.
But the interior has been lined with...
They had actual insulation.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk into another cabin opposite the ones we were exploring earlier. There's a bowling pin there. And look at the wallpaper still. Yeah, it was very fancy.
That must have been a stove in the corner.
The vent pipe there still on the ceiling. Nice tall windows.
And there's some information up there about the historic site.
Historic mine site. This mine was a mercury mine in the early to middle 20th century. This family that lived here worked the mill and mercury to supply the U.S. wartime demand for this material and this metal. Their houses and workings have survived here for nearly a century. Please do not take wood from the building. Gather firewood.
Ample firewood.
Or ample firewood is available from the downed trees nearby. Please help preserve this site for future generations to come. Thank you.
And over in this corner,
So that must have been some type of a heater.
I'm wondering whether or not this was the kitchen area.
Oh, how's that floor?
Yeah, mind the floor. You know, they've even wallpapered. Well, I was going to thought this was going to be a pantry, but there's 2 holes in the ceiling. So I'm wondering whether or not that was where the boiler was. Maybe a
That's-
hot water boiler?
Yeah, that's a good guess.
People have put their beer bottles up.
These cool 4 windows here. It's pretty neat.
I think this would have been the kitchen because you've got a back door. Also, this sort of wallpaper, pretend tiles,
Right, looks like subway tiles.
and you've got hot and cold water, or 2 water pipes. I would imagine the kitchen sink would have been here. The bedroom. Looks-
Very big room.
Yeah, looks a little bit worse for wear.
It does. And then obviously back there, you can see there's still a medicine cabinet. Water pipes underneath, so that was the restroom. And over here to the left, real quick, it looks like this was a closet. Small one. And the bottom part of this wall's just, it's gone.
And all of this graffiti is why we're not going to give out this location, and people have dumped nappy sacks and stuff inside.
Yep. It's just such a shame. People don't seem to understand
Respect.
respect and how to take their trash back out with them. Put it in a proper receptacle.
So the toilet would have been to the left, the basin would be in the centre with the medicine cabinet, which would have had a mirror, and the bath would have been here. Now, is that the remains of a shower curtain?
I'm not sure if that's a shower curtain or if that's just some of the...
There must have been a heater in the corner because there's a vent pipe.
Right. We were just in that cabin right there. We'll check out what looks like the garage.
It is the garage, and it also looks like, I mean, look at the wall, how it's got mud with stones.
You can see some of the stones in there. Put mud over the top, help insulate it.
It's got 3 vents, one in the ceiling and one either side of the window. And a strip light.
Yeah, a newer strip light at the stone building. Oh, this is cozy. Couple big windows.
Again, the wall's been plastered with mud.
And
in the corner here,
has built-in bunk beds.
built-in bunk beds, yep. That's funny. And there's even, I guess, to stop you bumping your head.
That's the same wallpaper that was in the house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the very back on the bottom bunk bed, you can see kind of like a shelving area
Oh, that is really cool.
for them to put their books, I guess, or whatever you put in your...
Right. And if this were for kids, this would have been like the coolest little place to hang out. I would have loved that.
Have you seen this? Is that an old clock? Part of an old clock?
No, what that is that's like the beauty ring that goes around a ceiling light.
Oh, okay, a rose.
Right. And then here, just up behind you,
Let's get out of the way.
little built-in shelf unit. And then I think my favorite piece, well, besides the bunk beds that I want to take and put in Tonto,
I don't think they'd fit.
is this homemade stove. Now, like I said earlier, what miners do with some of the most simplest things becomes ingenious.
That's pretty neat, isn't it?
It's incredible. Like I've stated before, they work with what they have, and what they build out of these things it is ingenious.
I mean, you think we're miles out in the middle of nowhere, up in the mountains. There would have been no roads as such back in the 1920s when they first built this ranch and mine.
Right. So what you have to make do with.
Have you seen this? They've
Covered that with metal.
and big nails. They've got it on either side as well.
Bunch of
So
pieces.
obviously this was a bedroom of some sort. I wonder whether or not this would have been maybe ranch hands lived here, or I wouldn't have, or maybe miners. I wonder if it was more ranch hands.
I don't know, but again, this would have been a cozy little place to lay your head at night.
So this little stone cabin, the one we've just been in with the bunk beds, I've just noticed that there's wood there. I'm wondering whether or not that might have been a little window that they've blocked up.
Little window, a little shelf, something to put some more things. And then behind it, there's another little structure here. Got a cement foundation. That's a shower. Here you got some water pipe on the floor here. Got a crude curtain rod.
I do think that this could have been for the ranch hands.
Their own facilities.
Uh-huh.
Is that like a little mat or an old blanket? So this could have been the water closet.
So I don't know what this is, but it's actually in the ground. What would that be for?
Perhaps they could have had maybe. No, there's no vents going
I was going
out.
to say that it wouldn't have been a stove or anything.
No.
But it's solid, it's right inside the concrete. How bizarre.
That is. I'm not sure what would have been on top of that, unless it was like a little hot water heater of some sort.
But no vent.
Yeah, again, there's no vent, unless they routed it. Because you see here, this is also a little bit, it's like a little notch, and it follows this.
Oh, and then
some
there's
wiring.
a hole there.
Something was sitting on this, and then, yeah, would shoot out that hole.
Curious.
Andrea was correct. This is the other side. They definitely were windows.
And you've got a fly screen, stop the insects coming in. And there's even a little bit of like lino on the shelf. That is so neat.
Perhaps that was a storage shed, workshop of some sorts. Completely collapsed now. What is nice though is you can see the shape of it. The metal is still on the side. You can see the windows. The cement pad here. This tubing, there have been some electrical that went up. So they had power.
Oh, this was some sort of workshop. Because
See a pit.
there's a pit inside that they would have worked on. Would that be vehicles?
Perhaps.
So they could work underneath the cars?
If there's steps, is there steps on this side going down? Or?
I can't see.
That could have been just like a sump area where maybe some extra plumbing or
No.
like a little tank was stored for maybe. I don't.
No steps.
Okay. It was a decent size. And I am a little bit surprised that it's fallen down like this. As you can see, the base, a lot of it is railroad ties.
This railroad tie here, apart from the fact that the whole lot's been shot with bullets all over, that's snapped. There's a little baby mattress, child's mattress.
Is that a child's mattress? Is that
Yeah.
part of a seat, maybe?
Oh, okay, yeah, could be part of a car seat.
There's some more pieces over there, and then we'll have to get a closer look at that.
I've got a date.
Oh, do you?
Uh, 1962.
And this is a bit sad, especially for all the car lovers. Because this was somebody's vehicle that they used to run errands in. Maybe take the kids to school, do grocery shopping, or just perhaps go out for a Sunday drive. But now it's been turned upside down and filled with bullet holes.
I wonder what sort of vehicle it was. It looks kind of like, do you call those a station wagon? Like a double-seaters at the back for more passengers?
Yeah, but this is more like...
It's like a little bus.
Yeah, more bus size, a little truck size. And take a look at what remains inside. A lot of things have been broken, damaged, shot through, taken out. The steering wheel's still there, some pedals. Looks like part of the dash there.
Again, a classic vehicle that people have had no respect for. I mean, look at this side with bullet holes.
Got the flywheel in place.
Looks like Swiss cheese. How sad.
Yep. Because these are antiquities.
Oh, look, at the bottom. It's got a wooden base. So I wonder how old this was. Oh, this is.
No clue. Got another vehicle here. This one's in a bit better shape than the other. And now this one reminds me of the one from Harry and the Hendersons. Don't know if anybody remembers that movie. About Bigfoot that befriends a family.
So the aerial and the mirror that was.
Yep. So those bullet holes through it. And back here, lots of space.
And look at the patina on that.
Hey, that's my word. Again, love the front grills, bumpers. Just the style.
This door on this side still got the handle on it. All bent, but... And that's where the petrol would have gone in? At the side there?
Yep.
Or the gas, as you say over here?
The gas, the fuel. There you have it. Another classic.
Did you get the back doors? That one doesn't open, but that one does. And you can see the flooring which has been put over the top of the wood flooring. And there's even the rubber seals that used to be in the windows. What a lovely vehicle.
This looks to be one of the last intact structures at this portion of the site. You can see there in the distance. Those are the cabins we explored earlier. Walk up and see. What's in this one? Oh, we found an Andrea inside this one. We'll walk around to the front. What have we got in here?
So I've got an old stove. And I'm wondering whether or not, yeah, the stove would have been here to the left because you've got the pipe.
Vent pipe.
But I've noticed that this floor all along here has all been burnt. It's all charred. So I'm wondering whether or not the stove caught fire at some point. There doesn't seem to be any
damage anywhere else?
No. But it goes right the way across underneath the floorboards on the main joist. You can see from here.
Yep.
So this you call a shotgun house, don't you? Because you've got an entrance front and rear.
From the front you can see all the way through the back.
Did you know apparently that's bad karma?
Bad feng shui.
Yeah. So let's just...
Is that like an old shirt or something on the floor there?
This.
Yeah. Some type of fabric. And the bed frame, mattress frame, where we poked our head through.
So it's kind of strange. So this would be the bedroom, the middle one. Where we walked in, that would have been the kitchen. So what would this one have been? The end one, it's quite narrow, so it wouldn't have been a bedroom unless it was a kid's bedroom. But then I wouldn't have thought you'd have a child's bedroom with a doorway going
outside,
out.
right.
And the screen door is still here. So a bit peculiar.
Interesting. Here's the view you would have from your porch. The trees were probably a bit smaller then. And a massive mine right outside your doorstep. Here are the remains of a possible garage / workshop area. And then directly above that, the water container. Yet another old vehicle that's been through the ringer. It's like an old El Camino style. I think that's I think this would have been a ranchero. Yeah, I could see Ford on the sill plate over there. I'll walk around to that side. Get a better look in. There you go, there's the Ford emblem. And the interior. What remains of it, anyway. And the secret compartment. Here's a debris field. Got all kinds of miscellaneous items in here. Bed frames, barrels, paint cans, stovepipe, water pipe, even an upside down car. I'll do a walk around this vehicle. Don't see any distinguishing features where I can tell exactly what it is. There is an emblem here on the trunk. I don't recognize that. Look at the shining of the tail lights. Got the exhaust system. Mechanical parts still in place. Rear end housing, drive shaft. Up to the transmission there. Look at the how small the muffler was.
It must have been quite a posh car. It's got white leather seats.
Somebody's pride and joy.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Or was?
It was.
I wonder why they all end up on their roofs.
I don't understand if it's from
Vandals?
It could be vandals, because we're not really in a wash, and nothing else has. There's no evidence of a bunch of things being washed down or turned over.
Mind behind you.
So here's the bottom side of the engine compartment. There's the horn.
And would this have come out of the engine?
Yes, that's the exhaust manifold. We've driven a little further into the canyon. Sorry, it's getting quite cold. It's going to snow again. The wind has picked up. It's very freezing, so it's a little bit hard to speak. But up there on the hill, you can see the tailings, and then these metal chutes. So they were dropping the tailings from that mine up there down to this point.
There's another mine in there.
You can see the tracks coming out from it. And then those tracks go out to Andrea.
And they carry along to an ore bin. So they would dump their goodies down there, and I would imagine there would be something below there to either take it away or sort it out.
Yeah, because there's a little chute. You can see the wooden platform that they've built it up on. It's at a steep angle now.
And I think we're at about just over 7,000 feet.
We can sure feel it now. Every step climbing up is a little more challenging. You can see further into the canyon there.
You can see the road zigzagging throughout the whole canyon.
They just go everywhere. There's the ore chute. Climbed up just a little ways to the top mine. So here's like a little ore pass. What we'll do, I'll take a sizable rock, see if we can listen to how far down this goes. Ready? Pretty decent. Then over here, you can see the makeup of the rock structure there. That just looks sketchy. And inside here, see this portion? You can see daylight through there. See all the holes in the rock? And yeah, that looks pretty scary. And then on this side, just go to this point here. See, that stops. And then just down there, there's another ore pass. And over here is the last one. This is to the left of those other two I just showed. No cart tracks in this one. And that just goes off. I'm the only one up here, so I'm not going to go in. You know us, we were just driving around.
Minding our own business.
Yep, decided to come up another canyon with Dustin and Lori. And we found this.
Yet another mining camp. This is also a mercury mine, but I think a bit newer than the last one. Let's take a look. Because this does look a lot newer.
The roof looks in immaculate shape. So unless somebody's been coming out here and taking care of this, Looks a little bit newer.
Mind the steps.
Yeah. Though you can see, same as the other mine we're at, those cabins, they've got like roofing material as siding. And again, it was a mercury mine, just like the other one. Start on the right side here.
I think this was like a bunkhouse. A communal. Something communal.
It does have that look to it. 2 rooms over here.
Oh, and they're joint.
Open doorway between. So you would hope that your neighbor doesn't snore.
Or talk in their sleep.
Nice big windows.
So I think this would be the communal lounge, kitchen.
Right, so there was a stove there. You can see the vent pipe going out. And then over here, the cooker.
Which is really infested with rat droppings. But you've got a
paper towel holder.
Yeah, I couldn't think of that. The paper towel.
Paper towel, kitchen roll.
And then another doorway through this side. Now this, oh, there's newspapers. Let's see if I can
Now,
find a date.
I wonder if those could have... No extra closets, because there's no... Or
Pants and tops.
pants and tops. Look like a happy bunch.
Oh, there's a date. Let me see if I can... Tuesday, August 7th. Is that 1979?
79.
That one's a bit too dirty. There's an
There's
old towel.
Bunch of them in here. All over the place.
So I wonder if this was a toilet.
That's what
Tiny
I was
little
wondering
stall.
as well. There's too many papers back there to see if there was a... if there's the ever-present hole in the ground for the waste to go.
And then that could be possibly maybe a shower place.
Could be a shower area, and that could be like the little towel closet, linen closet. Got a bizarre circular pattern with a bunch of holes in there. Very interesting. I say we have no history on this place at all. We basically just kind of stumbled upon it.
This was one of those random finds.
Thank you, Dustin. And if you didn't notice on approach, you can get a closer view here down. They put a bunch of cribbing just a little further along. And there's this little cabin. See the trees come down onto the side of it. Nice porch. Huge window. You see they had some insulation in the walls and in the ceiling there. And this is actual drywall, not cardboard. And you can see some of the plumbing there in the wall, so more than likely this was the kitchen area.
Yeah, I think so, maybe. And then in here, I think this would be more like a modern day's miner's cabin. But you can see how nature is taking control and taking back what's rightfully hers.
You can see over there where we come from, and you can also see the snow falling. So Dustin keeps threatening, if we hang out with them a lot more and the weather keeps like this, they're going to kick us out of here.
Now what we're walking on, this is all tailings, isn't it? Because this is really soft and squidgy.
Very soft. And it's also kind of funny because they've had some type of machinery up here. So these have been here for a while. There's another cement pad over there. And then from the fence you can see the extent of the work they've done here.
Yeah, they've totally destroyed the landscape.
Completely.
It's almost like an open pit mine, isn't it now?
It does look like that down there.
Look at all the things up there.
Some more exciting things to discover up there. See the main adit there.
And then if you go right up to the top, you've got like a concrete, I don't know what that is, like a dam type wall. Is that your tummy rumbling?
It was.
Are you hungry?
Perhaps.
It's just as well Dustin's wife's going to cook for us tonight. Anyway, let's explore. So I was mooching around and look what I found. Some really interesting things that I've never come across before when we've done mine explores. You've got this, which I guess this is an old barrel which has been cut, and that goes right down there.
Wow. I wonder if this was a ventilation shaft for the mine.
Maybe. Just some litter down there now.
Or maybe it was a toilet.
I did think that, but there's no remnants of anything. And then over here, there's lots of like concrete pipes coming up and concrete foundations. And then this. Doesn't go down very far, but there's
lots of metal too.
yeah. But this, it's just wood. It doesn't go down very far, but there are pipes coming out.
Right, I wonder if there was like a water tank or air tank in here.
Yeah. And you've got some old wire.
Yep, like little tram wire or pulley wire.
God, the snow's really
And the
starting to
snow's
come
really
down.
starting to come down.
Let's walk up further.
What do you think that could have been?
I reckon an ore bin. Originally. There's some numbers inside. D delta. I'm not sure whether that's the number 2 or a Z. 330A alpha. Obviously people have cut holes.
Cut pieces out, yeah.
Yeah, and big one there. Strange. And then you've got this concrete building next to it. That looks like
Part of a mill.
yeah. So that looks like an ore chute.
That
Coming
does. And it lined with brick. Just like at the other place we went to. And like Mariscal Mine. Because they didn't really have... The mercury process is different than, you know, mining for gold or silver, coal, lead.
But the one thing we haven't found any, either here so far or at the ranch mine that we've just been to, no mercury flasks.
We have not found any of those. No remnants, no even little tiny fragments. Here's a nice shot. Not completely at the top, but you can kind of see the extent of the workings and how they've run off down the valley a little bit. And a little bit out of breath. Hard to climb up here. But as you can see as well, the weather is starting to really get bad. So I'm just going to do a quick film, something we thought interesting, and we're going to make a move. We don't want to be caught in this kind of weather, because you can see further up where it's coming from. It's not lightening up. But quickly, while we're up here, I thought earlier this was the open adit to the mine. You can see the water pipe. It comes back in here a little ways. And there's a small opening down there. That's about as far as it goes. You can see the pipe still makes its way down. Still got a lot of fittings in the valve there. That's really cool. And pieces of it are just strewn all over the place. So I think that's going to wrap up this one. I'm going to make our way out of here.